If you remember, a couple of days ago, Donald Trump tweeted that the YPG is going to deliberately release some of Daesh elements in order to extend the presence of the United States militarily in the region. They want the United States to be involved. And a week ago, almost a week ago, Macron himself said, or France, said that they are expecting this kind of release or this kind of flee of the Daesh members from the YPG and prisons. So if this happens, and that's what they were expecting, that it's going to happen as a bargaining chip by the YPG, then Turkey is going to be held accountable. And now they're going to say, look, Turkey, it's because of your operation. The Daesh is going to re-emerge again from the ashes, and we're going to have another wave of radical Islam in the region. It's up to Turkey to deal with. This is absolutely not acceptable from day one. Turkey was telling them that, look, Daesh strategy is an ideology and it cannot be combated by violence, or cannot be combated just by the use of power. This happened in Iraq. We have a new version of Al-Qaeda, that is Daesh. So the only way is to deal with this kind of terrorism by a wide-scale kind of combat for all types of terrorism, including the YPG itself. Because the presence of the YPG in the region, terrorizing and radicalizing lots of Arab tribes in that region, and leading them to resort to the violence that Daesh used to deal with. And the other thing, Adnan, which is very important, that Turkey was saying clearly that these prisons, the majority of Daesh, are not in the range of the 30 kilometers that Turkey is speaking about for the safe zone. They're deeper inside Syria. So why the YPG is doing this? That's the question that their ally in Washington should be basically answering this right now, Adnan.
Ahmed, all the problems that you outlined there, that you've just explained in terms of how best to deal with Daesh and the issues that exist between Western Europe and Turkey's opinions. It's just come up in the past few minutes that the French President Emmanuel Macron, who's been at the EU summit in Brussels, has said that he, Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister, and the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, looking to meet Recep Tayyip Erdogan in the next few weeks, that they'll probably meet in London. How exactly do the two sides come together to an understanding about how to deal with this particular threat, despite everything else that's going on, this particular threat, to completely make sure that Daesh never re-emerges and that its radicalization programs are confronted together?
Well, to make sure that Daesh never re-emerge, Adnan, is a long process that needs a clear strategy from Europe. From the one hand, you cannot breed Islamophobia in Europe and at the same time you expect them to be kind of moderate Islamist in the Middle East. It's the rhetoric that they're using. It's the narrative that many leaders of Europe and the Western democracies are using against Islam, that is leading to the emergence of these kind of elements. So first of all, we need to speak about the role of the leadership, the political leadership, and the way that they're nurturing more Islamophobia by the rhetoric that they're using. Basically, Macron himself, when trying to radicalize political Islam and accepting dictators in the region like Sisi of Egypt, then they're expecting a moderate Islamist to stay moderate, if you will. This kind of approach is a binary rhetoric approach that you either accept the dictators in the region, you either accept Assad as the ruler of Syria, or you're going to be faced by Daesh. Is not acceptable anymore. The only way is to follow what Turkey is trying to show the whole world is a model of fighting all kind of terrorism, whether it's YPG, whether it's Daesh, it doesn't matter. Terrorism is terrorism at the end of the day. Now, whether they're going to accept this, I don't think so. Turkey has been, for the past few years, trying to get the European Union more involved in Syria, trying to get them on the table to find solutions to the refugees, to the problems there, but they're trying to keep themselves away and brush the whole problem under the mat, imagining that by doing this for the short term, they're solving the problem and getting rid of the headache. But on the long term, Daesh is going to re-emerge if the roots of the problem, not the symptoms, are dealt with.
Thank you so much.